Hey guys, Lancy here. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for joining me while we look into if reserve list cards are worth it more than secret layers or the other way around, especially nowadays. Let's get right to it. So I know I've done a previous reserve list card saying pretty much that they are topping. Now the same thing doesn't obviously apply to secret layers because there is a set price for them. But I was looking into it from a how much money would you invest in either one of them. Long term, there is a very similar statement by Wizards of the Coast. Now, we don't obviously believe what they're saying is 100% true, but they say it as if you miss a secret layers drop, you're never going to get the option forever. So miss the window, the drop is gone forever. Now, that is not a contract similar to the reserve list, which I think they actually did come out and say we're never going to print the reserve list as they are. If we're going to do anything, we're going to make the cards either weaker or different in some ways, and people will get super annoyed about that. For secret layers, everyone seems to understand that this is a secondary market play from Wizards of the Coast, where they want to make some extra money and sell cards that people are going to be paying decent amount of money for. They're printing cardboard, they're getting cash from us. But then again, in this market, we all seem to understand that a unique collectible is still worth something to people that understand that cash is not an end-all be-all, especially if they have savings beyond the minimum means and can survive without having to worry about it. Now, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and let's get right to it to find out the answer. We can see in the last couple of weeks, last couple of months, pretty much since 2018, a lot of the reserve list cards did start knocking up, especially the good ones that are very collectible. After February 2021, the market took off even more, and a lot of other cards started taking off as well, as we can see here. This was around about July, but there was another bump up around about Feb. And this is in relation to inflation, the money trust, what people are doing with extra money that comes along from the government stimulus, etc., from the US and around the world. It's not just the US. The US is the one that we know about, but I know that Australia spent $500 billion getting out of the COVID hole that they dug themselves into at the start of the year. And yeah, so all of these can happen. So we can see that right now, revised edition dual lands are pretty stable. These are the ones I follow because these are the ones I've kept an eye on for a while. I've also bought some secret layers. Now, one of the things with reserve list is there is a lot more of them. So there's good reserve list cards, there are bad reserve list cards, there are old cards that have value just because they are really old cards. So we never can be 100% sure about exactly what's going to happen to reserve list because everyone values them differently. But at this high point, is it time to possibly move into more secret layers, understanding that everyone seems to have figured out that secret layers is a sure way to put money to work. There's no other way to say it. So one of the things with secret layers is they are not, Wizards of the Coast cannot do anything funny with the reserve list cards coming out of secret layers, otherwise there'll be probably an uprising. Let me know if that's true in the comments below. And what they can do is to try to make, and this is exactly what this person, don't call me Scorpion, has said in MTG Finance Reddit thread, which is our secret layer pseudo reserve list, and mainly because they say the word forever. The reprinting is not restricted. They can reprint them, but like Unibrow 409 says, I love these names, they'd be shooting themselves in the foot by reprinting a secret layers card that they have put out in the last couple of years, decades, however long. It'll lose faith in them because they have to preserve their value somehow. Is Wizards of the Coast pretty much creating a new reserve list card or new reserve list card set with certain art and value, themes and artists that people enjoy? So let's go over what TCG Player says, what has happened in the last couple of years to reserve list cards. So we can see the value of all of the Planeswalkers that have come out. Now, some of these are obviously crazy, like Liliana, the Dreadhorde General. You've got Vivian, Champion of the Wild, sitting at $23. So you don't know how those are going to go. you can't be 100% sure about them. But the Blitter Blossom Dreams sold for $30, and now it's sitting at $52. Actually, that is not true. Even this is old. This article was from 2021, so 2 months ago. So 6/22/2021. 30-minute read, really. This is 30 minutes. I assume it talks about a lot of secret layers, that's why. So you can see that almost all of them, so Eldraine Wonderland was a good buy because this is all after the fact. You can't go and buy these right now. So you got an $80 worth of Snow-Covered Plains. You got Rest in Peace, now $55, mostly because of Bloodgast, which is Life from the Loom, $24, Bloodcast, $16. Probably still true. Kaleidoscope Killer, Sliverlord, Ur-Dragon, $14. I think the original Ur-Dragon is now an insane price. It's like $90. I actually have it up, and I did not pay attention to it. I don't know if I should get rid of mine or not, but didn't realize it was like a $90 card for a decent foil version of that card. So you got the other secret layers. This one is insane. Sold for $150. Theros Stargazing, now the market price of $324. Great value. Sadly, I already had each one of these for nowhere near this cost. I remember getting them a long time ago and they were not this expensive, but if you wanted to buy them individually, that's expensive. You got the International Women's Day, whatever you want to think of it, it is amazing value. Got some good value there. Thalia, $30, $37. Godzilla Land, $61 because of something. Tattoo Pack, Mountains. So I'm just going through this just off the top of my head. What is here, and you can see that the value is dependent very much on what people are buying and when they're going to, what people want, like the Praetor's Secret Layers. That's amazing value because of the fact that each one of those would have been worth $30 all by themselves. And even if you buy like 10 of them, you're going to drop the price, but they are going to be in demand in the future. And if Wizards of the Coast agrees that is forever, that printing, the judge foil of all of those Praetors with their Phyrexian text, with the Phyrexian text, you're going to have a hard time getting that in the future if they follow through. So there is a cost that I noticed. There is a cost because I live in Australia, so I have to buy them in bulk, or I don't buy them in bulk, but even if I buy them, the shipping cost itself is a huge percentage of what I would want to pay. But some of these are obviously worth it, and that's the reason why I'm talking about it right now. If you think that secret layers are going to be something that's useful in the future, then maybe it helps to have some ideas on if they're actually going to be worth it more than reserve list cards. Understanding that most of my audience came in because of reserve list, you guys can let me know what you think about reserve list or secret layers, since the money that you're now paying for these secret layers is just as much. Now, we talked about this way earlier, but this is now a 2021 September recap on if you still agree with some decent secret layers that have come out recently. Do you still agree that the money should be put into reserve list cards or secret layers? And knowing that reserve list cards have had a huge run up, almost 400% from where they were just 1.5 years ago, what would you do? Now, revised edition, we cover this as well, has continued slowly dropping. Now, is that an ominous sign of a top? I don't know yet. I'm not going to confirm anything. It all depends on what government stimuluses ease up, what the Federal Reserve does for the mortgage bonds that they buy. And I'll cover this more in the market recap video for today. This will probably come out tomorrow, even though it is on Tuesday. So, do you guys agree that secret layers are worth it? And if not, let me know why. Mainly because the run-up on the price of reserve list cards is high enough that if you bought, let's say, you wouldn't want to buy the bundle if you live in the US. Let's say you got the Kamigawa Ink Foil Edition, $40. You buy 4 of them. That's $120, $160. Sorry. You buy 4 of them. It's $160. That is still actually less than one reserve list, dual land, possibly Badlands, etc., because those are like double the price. They never print these cards again in this same quality. 10 years from now, what would be the value of each one of these cards? No one can predict the future, but I'm just wondering if you can make a prediction that this $40 will increase in value more than a reserve list card that already has gone up a decent amount. Now, I don't like the idea of giving Wizards of the Coast that much money. And also, you got to remember that the best way to protect the value of this secret lairs is to keep them sealed up, so you can't really play it. The worst case scenario is you buy two of them, you open up one of them, play it, and then the other one you just keep in a box forever, and then sell it possibly in the future when you think it's actually something you need to do. And going on, like, there is quite a few people that have made some profit over this. The average seems to be around 26%. Now, I actually don't think this is true because I know for a fact that the Valentine's Day Secret Lair would not have sold for a loss. The Extra Life 2020 Secret Lair should not have sold for a loss, not anymore. It might have soon after it came out, but I don't think that's the case anymore. But obviously this guy did a lot of research. It was from Yukawi? Kawai? I don't know how to say that. But yeah, so that's all I wanted to say for today. If you guys want to let me know what you think about Secret Lairs and reserve list cards, if you think there's more value in either one of them, especially after the 2021 run-up, understanding that everyone knows reserve list cards have pretty much a contract going for them, is it worth it to buy Secret Lairs or reserve list cards? Thanks again, guys. Have a good one, and let me know down below. See ya.